Yes,
I
mine
haven't
is
done
same.
that.
Because I didn't revise after that. Um, after inscribed me, I didn't attend. I didn't revise it very well if it was charged correctly or not. So uh, I reloaded. I did all the process again to solve it.
Oh, yes. Well, okay. Then here we have who's Marcelo Castro.
It's me, but it's another account. My name is Joshua.
Joshua.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
my situation is no, that's good. I haven't passed yet introduction and American literature. So those are
Mm-hmm.
still there for September.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I have to
Okay.
mention any
And
expectation.
what about your language?
Sorry.
Language? Which language are you or have you
Um,
passed?
English language 2 is also there for September or August. No, September.
Mm-hmm.
I almost forgot the months.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know which month is. But
Okay. Okay. It may happen. Thank you, Joshua.
no, thank to you.
The girls, there's another girl here. Paula.
Hello, hello, Miss. I'm
Hello, how
Paula,
are you? How are you?
and my
Mm-hmm.
grade is I'm regular en lengua inglesa 3,
Mm-hmm.
literatura norteamericana, but I still have to sit for the exams, final
Mm-hmm.
exams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Second year, it's over.
Yes,
Okay. Then we have Carola. Is Dario?
Good afternoon, Miss. Well, I'm here again.
Okay. Dario. How
Can you
are you?
hear me? I'm fine, thank you. My situation is a
Okay.
complicated
Yes,
one.
I can listen to you.
I belong to the old plan, to 1996, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
up to sit for American literature and
Mm-hmm.
English literature 3. Um, I have started to work with Miss
Okay.
Claudia about the essay. Um, I know that it is very complicated that the university accepts me for sitting for the exams, particularly in this subject because we cannot sit for the exam as external students here. But I have contacted the
No.
department boss, and he told me that the university was willing to help those students that were in some complicated conditions. But my situation, is really complicated. So I don't really know what will happen with me.
Yes, I do not know either, but
So
I think that you could. Well, your situation is totally different from the rest of the group. I know that you have sent me a WhatsApp message, and I told you that I was not ready to work with that. But what is it that we do? Because what was official from the ministry is that you could do this up to March. Yes, that was the original extension.
Yes, before it
So as
came.
to have your degree before the COVID and the pandemics and all that.
Yes,
I think, I think it's something we think as an institution that due to the given situation, something is going to be done. So as far as we people are concerned, we have to give you equal treatment, let's say, as the one that you should have been given last year or
yes,
in March. That's to say, in your situation, what I have to give to you is a list of works for you to do and
yes,
fulfill, and the last part of your subject, that is the final paper.
yes.
You may come here. What is it that you pretend or you imagine that you could attend, you could sit better for the examination?
Well, I have already started to prepare my works for American literature, and I have an outline for a play in English Literature 3, but I will keep expecting the decision that the institution makes. So I don't know if I will be
The
allowed to.
institution is going to help. I do not know what is going to happen with the degree. That I do not know.
Yes,
Institution is going to help because everybody wants 1996 people to be over. Yes, but unfortunately, you didn't attend when everybody came. Unfortunately, I remember your message telling me that you are not going to be there in those old days.
yes,
Unfortunately,
yes. I
you
have.
didn't do that. But we are going to give you the same treatment. That's to say, all the material, all the practicals. That's why I ask again, when do you think that you could be able to apply for the subject, to sit for the subject? Because
Well,
according to that, I can manage the chronogram because you have another chronogram. It doesn't mean that you cannot come here, no? You can come whenever you want, but
yes,
you have
I
to
know.
fulfill a different chronogram.
Yes, I'm going to accept the time that the institution tells me that it is possible to do this. I'm not regretting about that. I cannot. So as soon as they make a decision, I will accept it, whatever condition they may have or you may have.
No, I'm not going to put any condition because I'm just a subject. Now I'm just a subject. As an institution, the institution will say something. But again, the question, when do you think you could sit beyond the institution and the conditions and all that? When do you think in your mind, your time, your life, you could sit?
November, December.
Mhm, mhm.
I
Well,
know
because
the city.
according to that, you can go on with the group. If you say December, you can go on with the group
Yes,
and do it as far as the group goes, you go. If you say no,
yes,
December. If it is not December, and perhaps you may say, well, I've been studying the whole of the pandemic time, and so I have both subjects like this ready at hand, I may sit in September, so your chronogram has to be shifted or reorganized, you see? That's why I'm asking
yes.
you, when do you want to sit?
I
It's not the
want to
same
see.
that you tell me December, that you tell me September, you see?
Yes, because
But
I have
later
to.
on, so as not to keep them with this specific problem,
Okay,
when they are out, we can talk for a while,
okay,
yes?
okay. No
If you
problem.
want.
No problem.
Okay, because it will take more time than what they are expecting a class. Okay, and from the group we have Diego and Juan Carlos, the last two.
Yes. Hello, Miss. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Juan
Hello.
Carlos.
Hello, everyone. Um, as regards my condition, I have to sit for English language 3 and British literature
Mm-hmm.
from third year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the first
Okay.
time I am attending a
So you have
subject
a
with
linked
you.
subject
So
now.
yes.
Yes, because I am not in third year by now. I have to
Yes.
have my leave of absence. Yes. Okay. Okay, great, great. So the linking subject, you still owe the linking subject. Mhm.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, thank you. And then we have Juan Castro.
Hello, Miss.
Hello, how are you? Juan Carlos Barros, sorry.
Yes, fine, thank you. My situation is second year is over for me, and I passed the
Ah,
English
great.
language 3, and in all the
Okay.
different subjects, the materias correlativas, I'm regular.
Okay, great, great. Okay, so, well,
Hello, Miss. I
you
didn't
see
present
that this
myself.
subject, you just enter, sorry.
Sorry.
Amy, hello,
Micaela,
how are
Micaela
you?
Ábalos. Hello. I'm Micaela.
Ah,
I'm a
Micaela, I sent you the
semester.
mail.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm okay with the linking subjects. I don't owe any of the linking one, so I'm okay to attend this subject.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you, Michael. First of all, I want to, let you know that this is a electiva. This is something that you choose, and it's something that lasts for a semester. And as anything that is quadrimestral, you know that Sofia Juarez, Sofia?
Hello, Miss.
Sofia, have you introduced yourself? Hello.
No, no, sorry.
Okay. Yes. Sorry then. Could you please?
Yes. My name is Sofia Juarez, and I'm from Tucumán,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all. I don't know what. Do you want to know something? Yes.
Yes, I would like to know which subjects have you attended, which is your situation. That's if you owe a Lincoln subject from previous years, which is the last year you have completed.
Well, I have completed the third year, and I do have
The
the
whole
whole.
of it? Mm-hmm. What about the literatures?
No, I have to do the final exam of literature and the two histories.
Which one? The two
Literature.
histories and which of the literatures? Yes, which
English,
one? American literature, British literature, English
British.
literature?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, British in literature.
Yes, introduction to speaking English speaking literature. Reino
Yes.
Unido, Great Britain, I don't know. United Kingdom.
Yes.
Okay. That's the one you have to sit for the final examination.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was
Language?
supposed to do it
Language
this year, but
2 or language? You haven't attended the subject.
yes, the last year in the third. But I
Okay.
have
Okay.
yes.
I'm going to check with Sue. Okay, later on we are going to have a group. We generally work like this. Well, we generally work in this way last year with Karen and the group without pandemic context, without COVID. We already have a WhatsApp group. You are going to join in that WhatsApp group. I'm going to move the phone, Karen. So you are going to have another, yes? We are going to have that as an informal way, meaning that whatever is formal is going to be done by platform. I work with the PV Works, and I also work with Classroom, Google Classroom. By now, what I have for you today is PV Work. Where do I have that? Here, yeah. Okay. And the conditions for the subjects, I'm going to show the program as far as this allows me. As this is to be a semester, we have more requirements than an annual subject in case you want the promotion, meaning that you want to you are promoted when you pass all the tests and you pass all the midterms exams and you have the final paper with the midterm exam. That is promotion. That's to say that you don't lose a midterm, that you don't fail in a midterm, and therefore you are promoted. You interrupt me in case you don't get it, yes? And once you have failed, let's say, in two have three midterms, you lose the promotion. You know what is it, or how is it like with promotional subjects, and you have it as regular student, meaning that you have to sit for the subject. Yes. So you may have generally the people have the, yes. This is what generally happens. I don't know if I'm missing something to you. Am I showing something to you on the screen?
No,
No,
miss.
No?
I'm watching you. I cannot see that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me see. This one now. It's rather, well, until this tries to work, well, it says that I cannot share my screen with you. Why? Well, things that do happen with technology. I'm going to try to present with my screen, but no. One second, pardon. Can you
No, miss. We can't
something
watch this.
there?
No.
Could you see something? You can't.
No, it's what's the
Please
world.
tell me, because I can see the document, but I
No, it
cannot
was
see
all
you.
black. The
No, it
screen was
doesn't.
black.
It doesn't want to. Well, yes, for a while. Yes. That's what happens. Well, I have the program for you to watch, but it seems it's impossible. I'm going to work with another with a different one, but I don't have all the resources. I have them here in this computer. So there you are going to have the practicos. You are going to have, I think, let me see. Uh,
Me parece a mí o la profe dejó la clase.
No sé.
Sí, sí salió. Sí, no, no
Ajá.
está.
No. Ups. Empezamos bien entonces.
¿Lo contamos como recreo?
Sí, ahí viene, ahí viene.
okay, I'm back. It may happen to you too. It may happen to you too. It's not a break. It's not a break. It may happen. It's technology. Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, I'm not going to show you anything because I'm going to be black again. So I'm going to deliver that through a drive or something like that. Well, what you're going to find in this subject, unfortunately, I don't know the PPT, the PowerPoints either. I will try to work with another computer next time, one that may support you and support me. Well, we are going to have, as I said before, at least 5 plays to watch and read, because you can do both. You can watch and you can read. As you know, plays are not supposed to be read. They are supposed to be performed, and they are supposed to be watched, meaning that you are an audience that enter a theater. There you have the ticket, and there you have your seat, and there you have your screen or your theater. So we are going to read theater, but you can also watch the movies. In case someone wants to have the movies, you may reach some sort of device to upload them, because they are quite heavy. And I don't know with the mega cloud, if they can be uploaded to a mega cloud. Perhaps I will try to share, but you have to open your mega accounts too. Do you have mega accounts?
I don't.
I have.
Because it seems that the mega cloud is bigger. I don't know with how many kg or mg that may have, but it's bigger and it supports heavier material. So, but as far as I know, you have to have. Yes, I think so. I think so. I will show you the. Yes, I will show you my mega account, and I could share from there, because I think that mega account is able to uphold heavier material than the drive. Generally, a movie, at least, or of the theatrical performance, because this is what we are going to watch, a movie of a theatrical performance, is something quite heavy that cannot be uploaded in a wiki page or in a drive, except it's in YouTube, but I do not know. Some videos from the BBC broadcasting are not embedded there sometimes. And so it's something that you may share. If not, you may have your pen drive, something like that, to upload the material. You are going to have also the printed material, which is in a PDF format of the material that it is there for you to consult. It is not that you're going to read the whole of the material because it's quite heavy, but you have everything there. That's to say, the theoretical background, you're going to have the plays, you're going to have the essays, because with the presentation of a play, you are going to read an essay that deals with certain topics, yes, accordingly. You have also that already in a PDF format for you to have access. You are going to have all mentions, the PPT presentations, that is for the material with which I work. In case something like this happens again, or happens to you when you present me the PowerPoint presentations, we may share the PowerPoint presentations in a classroom, or we may share that in a wiki page for everybody to have there the material to consult. The same with the material that you produce for your presentations, your written practicals. You can upload that there, and you are going to have it. I can send by mail, yes, the wiki page address. I can add you to the wiki page. If you still have your mail current, is it the same from last year? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you can enter. You are already part of the subject. Could you manage to enter now?
No, right now, no.
Do you remember how to enter? No, you don't. So that perhaps you can present that because you are there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Well, you are going to receive. Try to see if you can with some older mail that I might send to you.
Okay, miss.
Try to see if you can open and present the page at least. Thank you for having me. Okay, you are going to receive, whenever I join the people, you receive a message from a mail that is Práctica Docente 2 y Residencia. You're going to receive a mail like for literature, because as I said before, I'm the chief of subjects. So you are going to receive that mail, and with that mail, you are going to have a link to accept, and with that, you join the page. There, you are going to have all the presentations from the people last year and the year before the last one, and in that way, you are going to see most of the material already dealt with, meaning that you are going to see practicals, you are going to see PPT presentations of previous students, which is the idea of that source, that you may have that available for you to have notes, for you to have material ready at hand whenever you please, for you to work, for you to have ideas about how a practical or how a PowerPoint for you to present could be done. The general questions of the subjects, because there you have the objectives of the subject already established. Among them, as you may say, or may view or infer, this is a seminarized subject, meaning it's a seminar. Whenever you come to a seminar, it's different from another subject, because it means it's not just subject, yes? It means that it's not just to watch a movie, to come here, to present, you have to provide a final work, meaning that you are going to do research. I believe that perhaps in previous courses you've already had your research issues. I believe that perhaps you have presented at least a 5 or 7 page article or essay for previous subjects. We are going to see, because it means that according to the program that is uploaded for you, you are going to choose among the plays. The selection of the plays is quite difficult sometimes, because the idea is to give you a panorama of theater there's a person here that says that she has studied poetry, she has studied novels, but nothing about theater, or have never read a theatrical play, a theatrical work. Well, the idea is that you have the resources to access theatrical issues, and we have worked with the most outstanding moments in theater. That's to say, it's impossible to give an account of all the moments in theater because that's impossible. It's too broad. But what we can do is to manage to see the principal ones, meaning the climatic moments in the theater development. That's to say, not the whole of Shakespeare, just one or two plays, no more than that. Then another climatic moment is Samuel Beckett, T.S. Eliot also, Edward Albee, American theater. These are the climatic moments, meaning the most outstanding representatives of the theater, whether American or British, yes? And well, that's the selection that you are going to encounter and that you are going to face. And with that, as in any literature, you are going to also see, because literature is not devoid, it's not detached from philosophy, painting, art in general, yes? You cannot say, and society, of course, you cannot say that the literary work, whatever it may be, a painting, a piece of cinema, a theatrical performance, whatever, yes, is detached from the culture. Yes, it is a product of the culture. Any piece of work is a product of the culture. So it puts upon stage something that is of a social convention, something that resembles the social upon the stage. And that social means a specific moment in time, meaning that it's not the same a 16th century performance than a 20th century performance. Yes, why? Why is it not the same? Because you may have different productive conditions, different context conditions, different social, political, religious conditions. It's not the same Puritanism and to be performing during Puritanic time, during the Puritans, during that king, than to perform during Queen Elizabeth. It's not the same to perform on a 20th century stage because of the conditions of the stage. When we see the stages, we are going to see that the different structure meaning, no? Because we may say theater and we may mean the production, but we may also say theater and we may mean the building, the material property, yes? If you view a theater of the 16th century, you are going to have that there's no apron stage. You know the apron? What's an apron stage? You have an idea of an apron stage? No? What's an apron? No idea of the what? I don't know if you can watch. Is there something that you can watch? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, we can watch.
Like an apron.
Yes.
Okay, that's an apron stage. Because you have the curtains at the back. You have the curtains at the back. This is the back part of the stage. This is the apron. The apron, like a delantal de cocina. That's an apron. That's an apron because of the shape. That's an apron. Yes. This is very similar to what this is a 20th century. Here you have the orchestra. Underneath you have the orchestra, and here And in that line, you have the audience. Yes, you have the audience there. Yes, that's an apron stage. So if you have the apron, the orchestra, and then the row of seats, you have what between the public and the actors? You have the apron, the orchestra, and the public. What is it that you have there? Distance. You have distance. So therefore, you are 21st century or 20th century babies. So you you know the benefits and the profits from lighting, from engineering, from scenery, from movable platforms on the stage. So you know all the business of the stage. So this stage, like this, is going to condition the playwright. You know what the playwright is? The word playwright. Okay. These are the material conditions, lighting, the building, the structure, the platform of the play. These are the material conditions that are going to condition the playwright, meaning that he has to sit and write for an audience. An audience that is going to be at a distance from the stage. Yes, you have a distance between the stage, the proper circumstance, the scenery, the setting, and the people. So you have to think of a way, 20th century, 21st century, to get the people involved in what you are watching. Otherwise, the people is going to stop thinking, stop focusing, stop enjoying. Yes, these are the conditions of the 20th century stage that condition the playwright. Imagine in the 16th century, I'm going to upload the PowerPoints and the material. The situation is quite different. Here you have not an apron. Could you manage to see a little bit?
Yes.
You have a platform, a rectangle, yes, a rectangle that juts into, you know the term? To jut into, you know the term? What's the meaning of jut into? No? Tell me, yes or no? When you jut into, I'm going to see the message. Okay. Jut into means that the platform, before we said that platform was at a given moment, yes, and you have the orchestra and then the row of seats. So there's a distance between the people on the stage and the people watching the performance. Here, these are the people. The dots are the people, yes? You have dots because the stage juts in, meaning that the stage is part of the standing audience. These people surrounding the rectangle are standing, meaning that there are no seats, yes? There's no electricity, there's no lighting, it is open. You have no roof, yes? You have nothing. So the people, as I said before, nothing means no TV, no YouTube, no whatever may come here in the form of an app, you don't have it, yes? So the only way that to get the people entertained is to go to the theater, yes? And there you have that this is open air, yes? And that the people were standing very near the actors. So there's a kind of intimacy between the actors and spectators. So that is going to give a different context and conditions of production for the playwright. The playwright, again, is conditioned by the necessities of the stage. The structure, the building, and this changes throughout centuries. We can see that development throughout centuries. I just marked the 16th century and the 20th, 21st century. That is something that you know. According to the chat, Joaquin Villagra says that he has a question.
It's not a question about what you're explaining. It's a question about formalities. And I don't know if.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me.
There's a group. Araceli, Sofía, Carola, Micaela, Diego, and Juan Carlos, and we are taking a Práctica Docente 2. And we wanted to know the time, the schedule, the days, and the time of the meetings of this seminar, not to have problems with the time. We have classes
overlapping. Yeah.
Overlapping.
Okay, so that's why we meet today, because as I do not know, you know the group, and that's why I ask which subjects are you attending. I do not know your chronogram, meaning I do not know the moments in your lives that you are with the subjects. So according to what the boss of the department, Adriana, has passed, we are going to meet on Thursdays. And as this is not a proper classroom, and that's to say, not a proper class with a physical presence, this is intended, according to the institution, to be guidance. Guidance, meaning that you have to fulfill the requirements. Yes, if you want the promotion, you have to fulfill the requirements if you want to be regular. You can be a free student too, and to be here to see how is it like, and then I move on. That's why I ask you today, trying to be in coordination what is stated in the timetable of the department. Yes. At what time you let me know the other way around. You let me know which according to the timetable of the department is on Thursdays from 3 o'clock onwards. The whole of the hours it's programmed for Thursdays. But if you have problems, I do not know. What about your timetable of methodology and all the subjects?
Precisely, methodology classes on Thursday, so today, at 6 p.m.
Because we can produce splits. It depends on how many people. How many? How many persons? Sorry.
Carola, Micaela, Araceli, Juan Carlos, Diego. I mean, I think, I don't know, I'm missing someone. We're about 6,
Sofia.
7, and Sofia, 7 people.
Well, Carola. Okay. Yes. Okay. But here we are, 13 people. So it's almost a half. So it depends on a group arrangement. We can start at 3, if you want, so that you have 3 hours and you leave at 6. And we can have an hour or an hour and a half. It depends on our arrangement.
For me, at 3, it's okay. I don't know the rest.
Yeah. It's okay.
But you talk. Well, you talk about the people. You talk. You know how to do that. You do it. I could have the 3 hours from 3 to 6, and you leave with the break if you want. If you want a break, you may have one also before we continue. And then we may have another single hour, an hour and a half in any other day. Because less than 2 hours for this subject is impossible.
We can't.
With 1 hour, we do nothing. we do a consulting period if you want, but with 1 hour, 60 minutes hour for this subject, nothing.
No, we cannot.
Well, you see what is it that you, you see what is it, and you talk to the rest because you are just the half, yes? There's another half, yes? And you arrange your timetable, your conditions, because according to what you are telling me, well, it is quite different, the situation of each of you.
That's the
Okay.
only problem.
Any other question? I don't think sorry?
No.
Well, I couldn't listen to him. Could you listen?
Yes, we can, but
Okay.
there's no question. There's another question.
Okay. Right. If you have a question, you may write on the chat. I'm watching the chat. I will answer whatever you may ask. Drive and Mega both support large 5 movies. Not mine. Is that Mega is not obliged to report copyright violations if they are not obvious. Okay, thank you, Marcelo. Or you are not Marcelo. You said that you have another name, Joshua. Okay. Yes, not in my drive. That is not the situation of my drive, Joshua. All my drives are overloaded. They cannot support many things. Okay, going back. Well, I was telling you about the necessities of the stage and the situation of playwriters and the differences between writing in the 16th century and writing in the 20th century or writing in the 21st century, and that it's different. The only thing I would like to present to you today would be the differences between the drama and the novel, the famous ones, that you are going to have a very small booklet there that is called, well, it's the first page of the PDF version. Yeah. I'm going to be black for a while. Well, in the PDF presentation, there you have a handbook for the study of drama. That's the name. Handbook for the study of drama. It's a very short booklet. It's not that heavy or a heavy amount of pages. There you have the differences between the drama and the novel stated. And well, as you said before, you have already had experiences with the novels. So can you mention at least which are the elements in the novel? When you analyze a novel, what is it that you analyze?
You analyze the characters,
Setting,
Okay.
setting, plot.
the theme, my theme.
Character, setting, plot.
Symbols.
What else? What? Style. Well, this is analysis. Narrator.
Historical background.
Background. Historical background.
Background.
Internal structure.
That plot. Well, what you are telling me are the parts of a report. That's a part of a report. That's when you are assigned a work of art, anyone, whether novel or whatever, you have to deliver the historical background, well, all the things that you have mentioned. What I'm asking is, which are the elements in a novel? These are the parts of a written or an oral report. Some of them you have already said, that's to say character, setting, plot. There are 2 missings. There are 5 elements.
Rising action.
No, that's plot. We're going to talk about it. so as to see which are the concepts that you manage. No, that's plot. What do you understand by plot, by the way? Okay. As a kind of summary. If you are asked in an oral examination, tell me about the plot of a novel. What is it that you deliver?
It's like as a section of actions that happens during the story in a chronological way.
Okay. Okay. I do not know about the chronological way because if you happen to read Faulkner, you haven't come across Faulkner then. Dario is laughing. You happen to come across Faulkner
Right.
because chronology is not.
But I mean, it's
It's
not.
a succession of action.
Yes, it doesn't.
Chronological order. What happens with? That's right. What happens with the idea of chronological order? Who is the one that needs the chronological order?
The reader.
And why is it that we need chronological order? Dario?
For us to understand more easily what the story is about. For the reader.
So who's the one that needs the order? The reader.
Yes.
And what happens with Cortázar, Rayuela? What happens with Faulkner? What happens with James Joyce? Have you read something about James Joyce? Have you read James Joyce? Ulysses? No? Heart of Darkness? What is it? Well, let's make it easier. You tell me what you read.
I read the Sound
British
of the
literature.
Oh.
Yes, I know.
Heart of Darkness also.
Okay, so you are through. You can read whatever. If you truly read The Sound and the Fury, not the note, the monarch, not
I truly read it.
The spark, not that kind of trash, but the true book, the true novel written by the author, suffering what the author makes you suffer
when you come
till you
across
discover.
it for the first time, you find that it's really hard to understand, especially the first part, the first chapter of that novel, because it's told by a mentally ill person. So it's really difficult, that first chapter. When you come across
Those who have attended American literature,
well, I mean,
from 2011.
I know.
Have you attended American literature? Gabriela?
Yes, last year.
Which novel have you read by Faulkner?
We read the. Oh, I forgot the names. Sorry. Death in the Woods.
As I Lay Dying?
No, that's not by Faulkner. You said something, Sound and the Fury, by which section? Because the Sound and the Fury is divided into 4 sections.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, but I mean, it's a whole. To understand the meaning of the story, that idea of time, you have to read the whole. And it's what, for me, it was really complicated.
Yes, I did it more than once.
Yes. And it's a new way to it's a new style. In that time was a new style of writing, and to understand the way that the writer wrote or imagine or feel that was
well, there you have lots of things.
Yes.
You have lots of things because you said that the story, which is the story there in The Sound and the Fury, which is the story? Because you have a plot is one thing and story is another. Plot is what you have said, these of actions. And what is
It
the
is the
story?
story of a falling apart of a family. Sorry, this is the story of a family that falls apart through time.
Okay, this is a story of a family that falls apart, but mainly of whom? There's one central character that goes across the 4 sections.
Caddy?
Caddy. Well, in The Sound of the Fury you have. The story is quite simple. There's no story even, because you don't have something. You have to the shifts backwards and the shift forwards. You don't have a story. You have Caddy, the downfall of a family, of a certain family, with the, let's say, the person that perhaps is going to rescue the family by marrying a wealthy person. But well, this was a problem. Everything was stopped, and man, there's no other story. There's no other story. The point is how the story is narrated. The story, the center of consciousness of the 4 parts is totally different. The first one, why is it so complicated, Dario? Because you have
Done by a
a
mental
tale
illness.
told by an idiot.
Yes.
A tale told by an idiot. A person who is 33 years old with the mind of a kid of 5 years
Yeah.
old. Yes?
Yeah.
So imagine what can happen in that mind. That's why it is this deconstructed. The whole story is deconstructed. Second section, Quentin, the most brilliant member of the family. But what happens? Suicidal. So
Yes.
imagine.
Right.
The very day before he commits suicide. Imagine the mind, what is happening to that mind. So the most brilliant one will flash backwards and flash forwards. The same story. Caddy's loss of virginity, Caddy's loss of values, Caddy's loss of whatever. Third section, Jason, center of consciousness, materialistic. There, after 100 pages, the story has meaning because Jason is a material mind, so he orders things. Final section, Dilsey, the Afro-American, yeah, the one that sees the beginning and sees the end of. So she has another perspective. Why all this? Why telling you all this? Because if you do not know what kind of a novel you were reading, it is, how is it that I am going to state the differences with play? Yes. So plot is one thing and story is another issue. Yes. Story is another issue. Plot has to do with 2 people at least has said, Walter para decir. 2 people at least has said that plot has to do with internal action or internal something. Yes, these of introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution or conclusion, and the final. Well, that is plot, the structure, not the story. Not saying it's the downfall of a certain family. That's story. It's not plot. Plot is the structure that you have. That is plot. Yes. Well, these are 2 elements. Well, then you have characters, as you have said. Then you have setting. In setting, you have what? When you mention setting, you consider time and place. Yes. And you have in plot, you've set certain moments. You have action, meaning Caddy gets married, Caddy gets pregnant, Caddy runs away. The man with the red, the succession of events. Yes. So you have the 5 elements. You have the 5 elements in a novel. So what happens with these 5 elements in a play? Are we going to have the 5 elements? Do you have characters in a play?
Yes. Actors.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so similarities. Want a break? Because it's 10 to 6. Want a break for a while?
No. With regards to me,
Yes,
I'm
no.
okay.
We may have a 6:30 without break or a little later with break.
Means we prefer.
Yeah.
I prefer at least to keep going the lecture because we have a class at 6:15. So it will be good for us
Well,
to
you
conclude.
organize later on. Okay. You conclude whatever you may want to conclude, and you join your next class with the person you need to join, and we go on. We go on, and well, later on you tell us the group that you have mentioned, the 6 people. You tell us the day after these 3 hours that you are going to meet. You communicate with the rest of the group, and you come to an arrangement. Okay. The people who need to leave at 6 will leave. Please, you have my mail. Do send me a mail with the phone numbers.
Okay.
So that we have the group this year. Yeah. In case you don't have it, there you have. You send me a mail. We are going to arrange a group to have messages, generally from 8 to 7 p.m. It's okay. And well, we talk, and you tell me, you let me know which is the day with the spare moment that you are going to come later. After your arrangement. This is something among you. Yes. Well, we said that we have characters in plays and in movies and in theater. Yes. Do we have setting in novels and in plays? Setting meaning both. Whenever we speak of setting, we say time and place. Yes. Do we have time and place in a play? Also. Okay. What else? Which other elements do they share? Characters, setting. Do we have plot? Action. In theater, we have plot. Action is plot. Yes. But which is the difference over there? Because there is a key difference there. Action is the most outstanding element.
The dialogue is part of the action in plays.
Why is dialogue a part of the action?
Because the audience is part of the stories. Is the most. It's like a witness of what's happened or during the play or something like that. I mean, sería como su conciencia, la misma conciencia que tiene en los actores durante la obra.
Well, 2 different things. What you are saying, I go back to Darío. So they are 2 different things, 2 different concepts. What you are saying, that action and dialogue. Why is dialogue action? Because we have to think in the performative nature of this course. You know what is to perform? The performative nature of this course?
To act.
To act and to do something. You do something. When you perform, you do something. Why can this course, sorry?
when you talk, you act. When characters talk, they are acting.
What happens when you talk? Okay. What happens when a priest declares husband and wife? The priest declares you, or a civil servant declares you husband and wife, you and your couple, or wife and wife, or husband and husband, whatever. But after that ceremony, two people are joined. What happens with this? When they enter the room, if it is a civil something, or when they enter a church, if it is a religious institution, the two people that enter the room leave the room in the same state, with the same status?
No.
Are you going to be single
that's
again?
No.
You see, that is the performative nature of discourse. Just by saying you are declared this and this, things are no longer the same. That is the performative nature of discourse. Speech acts, that's a whole theory of the speech acts about the performative nature of discourse. So discourse is action. But dialogue is one of the most outstanding elements in drama, yes? Because it is through dialogue that we have in 16th century theater, we are going to have a notion of the characters through dialogue, because remember, 16th century, you don't have scenery, you don't have lighting, you just have the mouth, the gestures, and the platform that juts into the audience. You just have that, yes? So dialogue is action, plot, structure, yes? And why is it so important in theater? How long have you been sat while reading a novel?
It depends.
More than 1 week, perhaps.
It depends. It
More
depends
than
on the
a week?
novel.
It depends on what?
Yeah. But longer time, it's, I don't know.
And
Yes,
who
you have
chooses
play.
that?
Yeah.
You
Longer
can.
than play.
Yes. But you got, Dario?
You have that freedom that you can go away and take it again whenever you want or whenever you can.
You have
can
the
go to
book,
that.
yes, ready at home. You sit, you read, you have a cup of water, coffee, juice, whatever. You close the book, you leave. You cannot do that with a play. You pay a ticket generally to watch a play. You have something that is known, that's why I'm offering a break, span of attention. How long does your span of attention last? Or do you think it
45
lasts?
minutes. 45 minutes in theory.
Okay. Okay, that's why the classroom is, at least in secondary school, is for 45 minutes. At the higher level, longer the classroom.
Yeah.
Because the span of attention cannot be kept for 3 or 4 hours, one after the other. Yes? So concentration, the theatrical play, the work cannot last 470 pages. It's impossible. So the playwright, remember the playwright, the one who writes, has to shorten the events, has to consolidate things in order to have interesting moments up on the stage. Otherwise, people are going to leave. Probably because they have paid the ticket. Probably before they have paid the ticket, they are not going to do that because they have afforded it. It's different, but no longer than an hour. Yes. So think about if it's a historical play, Henry V, Henry IV, Richard III. A long battle, for instance. How is it that you, as a playwright, are going to bring all these episodes together so that they are presented in a single hour? That's the master of a stage, to master the craft of stage. With that, you have to mold, to give shape, to put interesting moments, to put something that catches the attention. So this is one of the differences, the dissimilarities between a novel and a play. A novel, whenever you read, whenever you want, you read the book, you leave it aside in the night table, wherever, and you fly away. With a theatrical piece, you cannot. With a movie, you can pause. Yes, you can pause. You press play, you press pause, you press the fast forward, one backwards, whatever. It is freedom, it is at your disposal. With this true theatrical movie, through true theatrical play or performance, you cannot do that. Yes, you cannot put a stop to the characters, to the players on the stage. You cannot do that. You have to be there till the play ends. Yes, this is the difference. Yes, you have setting, you have characters, you have plot, you have dialogue, you have action. So these are the elements of a play. Yes, and the elements in a narrative too. It's 6 o'clock for the people that need to leave for another classroom.
I'm really sorry to be late. I have something about a place that is different from novels.
Don't forget, wait a minute, Walter, wait a minute. We are saying goodbye to a group of people and then we go on talking. Okay. The group
so much,
that is leaving for practice, let me know when you meet again and your timetable. Okay?
We're
Bye-bye.
going to
Okay.
send
Thank
Bye,
you
man.
for
Thank
staying.
you.
I will send the program.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye
thank you
Thank
so
bye.
you.
much.
Bye bye.
Miss.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Same.
Okay, Walter. Let's see what happens. Your mic.
Okay, sorry. Microphone. Yes, that there is a difference.
No, nothing that you, what you have said.
Yes,
Yes.
the difference from novels that the plays, for instance, the playwriters write explanations about the feelings of the characters or settings or the background that, that in the novels doesn't don't have.
Yes, but those written explanations that you have at the very beginning of an act or scene, because generally we have explanations of a setting, as you said, or you may have explanation of the mood of the character when addressing or saying things, but those appear when? In time. These are perhaps 18th century theater. Sorry, Dario?
At the beginning of each scene.
Yes, at the beginning of each scene, yes, that is in the written version, yes? But in time, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st century, when is it that you have the possibility to have stage, these are called stage directions.
Directions, yes.
When is it that you have the possibility to have them written there? Which century, more or less? Well, that was not so at the very beginning of theater, theatrical issues. Indeed, the quartos, the folios of Shakespeare's written versions were not like that. Yes, not even divided into scenes or acts, with no we don't have stage directions. We do have stage directions at the end of the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st century. Well, these are quite helpful because it is the whole design, because the one that is going to put the play up on stage is going to know that, well, there's a curtain of leaves, there's a piano, there's a night table, there's something, and you have the environment, you see? But without that, we have to leave it to the imagination, yes? We leave that to the imagination, yes? Well, and that's it. Well, you are going to have a PowerPoint presentation of these parts that deals with the nature of drama and the nature of drama and the similarities and differences between the novel and drama. So the novel is written to be read, the other is written to be performed. One is going to have lots of pages, so the one that writes, the writer, can, as we are dealing with stage directions in the novel, we are not going to have stage directions, but you have plenty of space, that is hundreds of pages for narration, for descriptions of the setting. How is it that you managed to create the Southern Compson mansion in the south of America? Because of the description, even the smell of the flower there, the honeysuckle that is so recurrent, it's almost, you can almost, well, it depends on your way of perceiving things, you can almost perceive the smell of the honeysuckle. It depends on your perception. So descriptions are written, and you have pages and pages of description in novel, you cannot have that time up on stage. You cannot. So the novels are self-contained. That's to say that everything is there. Yes, it is like a unit that you leave on the night table, or you take it to, I don't know, to a club, you take it to a swimming pool, you take it wherever you may go. It is self-contained. Indeed, a play, a true play, when it is performed, is affected by the necessities of a stage. It is not the same to have the apron than to have one that juts into the audience. It is not the same. Interest is sustained in both novel and stage, but interest is sustained in a play by careful selection of events, because as we do not have 4 hours to have the people standing there, you have to be extremely careful when picking up the events so as to keep the tension, to keep the unit, to keep the play moving, and to keep the attention of the people, yes? And the novel can be read in many sittings. Instead, this is watched in a single sitting. It's a single sitting. And another issue that is different is that the story in a play could be done through dialogues, soliloquies, and essays. You know the meaning of all that? Dialogue, a soliloquy, and an essay. What's the meaning of a soliloquy? What is a soliloquy?
When a character is speaking alone, and it was similar to the asides, but I don't remember very well the difference.
Soliloquy is the character speaking as if he were alone, imagining that there's no audience. It is like when you are thinking, but you are speaking to yourself in a loud voice. Okay. He pretends. Let me go back to that idea, the one that you mentioned. He pretends there's no audience. The one that you mentioned when I said this of dialogue and action, and I explained the Gabriela, and I explained the performative nature. I said that what you said is something different. You are that is linked to this idea of soliloquy. You said something of witness, the audience witnesses. Whenever you buy a ticket or you watch a movie or you open a book or in a novel, what you are entering is a fictional contract. You know the meaning of a fictional contract. That's to say that everything, it's a contract between you, the work of art, and perhaps the creator, the playwright, the writer. Yes, the contract you establish is fictional because you establish to believe. So though you know that that you are watching, reading, or whatever is not true, it is not happening, though based on real events, at the very moment you are reading, at the very moment you are watching the movie or the play, it is not happening. You know it is not true. Someone is not killed up on the stage. It is a performance. Yes. So, but you establish a contract. The audience witness till a given extent because you are
aware.
code. You code the message. You interpret. Sorry, Dario.
That you are aware that it is fiction.
Okay, so what you are saying, Gabriela, you're speaking about the fictional contract. That's the word. There's a fictional contract established. You sit there saying that you're going to believe. That's why you feel empathy. That's why you cry. That's why you laugh. That's why you feel sorry for the protagonist. Generally, hatred for the antagonist, sorry for the protagonist, if he is a victim in a tragedy, for instance. Because you have established a contract, so your feelings are open to believe that that is not true. That is verisimilitude, similar to truth, but it's not true. Yes? Due to this lack of truth, we have the soliloquy. Yes? Because you are going to have a character upon stage saying things, pretending there's no one, knowing as an actor that there are people there. So it's a different issue. Soliloquies nowadays are possible because of mics, because of lightning, because of the shadow, because of whatever. Yes. And asides are those in which you set aside the character. Sorry, Dario?
Does it have to do with addressing the audience?
Yes, both address the audience. You are addressing the audience in both. But in an aside, you pretend there's another, it's like a performance in the performance because you are with the group, you are the actor up on the stage, you are with a group of characters, but at the same time that you are having a dialogue with one character, you set aside up on the stage and you make believe that there's no one listening to you up on the stage, that the other characters are not listening, and that you are addressing directly the audience. So that creates intimacy with the audience. And the character pretends that you are having a secret with the audience, and the rest of the people up on the stage, the other characters, do not know. That's an aside. That was extremely possible in the 16th century because of the necessities of a stage, because you have a platform that is not an apron, yes? It's something that juts into the standing audience. Remember that the people are standing around that. So you can come closer to the people. You don't have the orchestra part. You are just near the people. So you can have those asides. You can have that intimacy with the people. Yes, it is possible in a 16th century play. Nowadays, it can be done also, but the feeling of intimacy that is created in the 16th century, I don't think it's that possible having a space there, whether with orchestra or without orchestra, and the row of seats. Yes, you have the distance. It's immediacy, what you create with an essay.
Yes, nowadays lights, lights nowadays, sites and video lights that put focus on the actor. It's different. I mean,
It's a way.
and sorry, a monologue. It's another, or it's the same as soliloquy.
Monologue, monologue, monologue.
The same.
Yes. No, they are not. They are not. Well, as I said before, you have in PDF one, the nature of English drama, and there you can have all the concepts. It's a booklet, very short one. All the concepts we are visiting now, the differences between the drama and the novel, the differences among the elements. You have a monologue, you have a soliloquy, you have the difference between, and well, monologue, soliloquy, and there's one more, and dialogue. And then you have characters also, because this is important, because in characterization, what you have are the stock types, yes? The types and the flesh and blood characters, the division among characters. I've already said protagonist, antagonist, foil character. So perhaps one task for next class to read about that. And let me see what else. You have a program with actual dates. And the first one that we are going to have is night stream, yes. So if you don't have the play, I can deliver that to you. Generally, they are PDF. I think that they were uploaded last year. I'm going to check again the wiki page. And there you're going to have the play, and you're going to have an essay. And well, but before that, I would like to revise with the rest of the group all these conceptions or concepts as regards characterization, as regards these differences, as dealing with dialogue, soliloquies, essays, so that you can have clear in your minds. We can revise next class the idea of plot, because we have different designs in plot. That is the way in which actions are stressed and which are unstressed too. And we can also deal with the different types of plays. In that booklet, you are going to find also the different types of plays, that is comedies, tragicomedies, melodramas, farce, pantomime, yes? Generic types, these are the generic types. Plays may be linked to comedies, may be linked to tragedies, to historical plays. We are going to see the different plays that we are going to have, yes? Well, that booklet are the first pages of this PDF. It is a very simple language. You can read it in a single sitting if you want, if you have the time. It's not difficult. It means you don't need the constant help of a dictionary to understand. You can skip certain material too, because you have given lots of examples, long examples of plays, so many pages can be left aside and go to the key concepts in the nature of drama. And with that, you have at least the backbone, the backbone of what a play is, which is the similarities a play may have with a novel. Can a poem have all these things that we have mentioned? Setting, characters, time, action.
Yes, I think they can.
A dramatic poem. A dramatic poem. Yes, a dramatic poem. Yes. In which you are going to have all that. Yes. Okay. Well, I will ask you to send me by mail your phone numbers so as to create the WhatsApp group. Yes. And I will link you with your mails to the wiki page in
I was
case
planning
you
to
are not.
I was
Sorry?
going to ask you about that. How is it that we have to manage to get into the website?
Well, in the case of you two, Walter y Dario, you have to stay. That's why I'm cutting 10 minutes before 6:30 for the other girls. Your situation, because you are 1996, is different. We are going to talk now with you two. The other persons, you are going to be in the group, no? You are going to be in the group, you are going to be in the wiki page, wherever. But the situation with you or with Karen, it's different than with the beginner. You are false beginners, if you want me to say so. You are not true beginners, you are false beginners, yes?
We're truly false beginners.
Huh?
We're truly false beginners.
Yes, so your situation is different. We are going to work in a different way, but you are going to have access to everything that we deal with the people. Yes, so that you can have, but you have to keep. That's why I asked you, Dario, when do you truly mean to sit? Because if you truly mean to sit in December, well, go through the subject. If you want to sit, because you have two left, you want to sit in October, well, I have to give you a schedule of your own. The same for Walter.
Yes, I mean,
The same for Walter.
the plan. Yes, I'm now in the new plan.
You have shifted?
Yes, I. Yes.
Is it convenient, Walter?
Yes. Yes, of course. Ya hice la mayoría de las materias ya.
8 subjects. Eight
Yes.
subjects, I think.
Yes.
Or more.
Yes.
Well, it's a matter of choice. So you go through.
Yes.
You go through. Okay. Well, do not stay then. I have to stay with Dario. And with Karen. Okay. Well, thank you for being here. Send me a message, the other people, by mail so that we can have the group. Once we are in a group, I will add your mails to the page, and then we're going to see if I can manage with the classroom and the wiki page. If not, the wiki page alone, we are going to see. And please, Gabriela, you are in contact with the people who have left.
Okay.
So try to see the other, if they are living at 6, at what time they're going to meet, and you have to arrange with this other group, no? With the other half. Yes?
Yeah.
You let me know, okay? In advance, at least 48 hours.
Okay, Miss. I will.
Okay. Thank you for staying. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Bye.
Paula, Joshua, Matthias, and Walter. We meet again on Thursday, but you let me know before that single moment that we need to complete the 5 hours.
Okay.
Okay. Necesito un día de 3 y un día de 1 hora y media. Menos de eso no se puede en esta materia para hacerla en 6 meses y terminar y regularizar. Promocionar, perdón. ¿Sí?
Okay.
Yo les comparto las cosas.
Tenemos que leer
Sí,
algo
bye.
para la próxima clase.
No, por ahora voy a hablar yo, así que espero poder compartir la pantalla con otra máquina. No sé qué le pasó a esta. Y así es más appealing.
Ok. Bueno, profe.
Okay.
Muchas
Bueno, un
gracias.
gusto verlos y conocerlos a los nuevos. Bye, bye. Un ratito, Karen. 2 minutos, quédate.
Okay.
Bye, bye. Karen y Darío, entonces. Bárbaro. Por eso le pedí a Karen si estaba con, como ella entró, no tengo, generalmente doy muchos cursos posgrado desde acá, así que, pero esta ya está cansada de mí, la máquina, me parece. Cansó de mí, ya me está abandonando. Sí, la placa no está aguantando tanto. Así que muchas gracias. Lo voy a considerar, mándeme un mail, Marcelo. No, Joshua. Mándeme. ¿Qué? Y bueno, la primera vez que no lo conozco porque no mostró la cara todavía. No, no tiene ninguna carga, pero bueno, qué sé yo, me parece que los demás ponen la cara, un código. Bueno, que esté muy bien, hasta luego.